Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm April
Hello,
Farana
April.
from Heal
Thank,
Podcast, and we have a beautiful guest here on the other side, which is probably evening. I'm thinking close to 8 p.m. over where you are.
I am from Bangalore, India, and it's 7 p.m. in the evening. So, very good
Wow.
evening from my
Yes.
end.
And what is the weather like there, over
Weather
there right
is
now?
very beautiful. It's very pleasant. It's raining, but at the same time, it's a little cold. And I love the weather over here. Very
In
moderate
the
and very beautiful always.
We also have the rainy month seasons right now here in Costa Rica.
Oh, lovely.
It goes till about November, and then it gets dry until about April.
Okay, for us, it can rain any time of the year. We are so
Okay.
used to of rain any time of the year. The moment it gets hot for us is like 34, 35 degrees Celsius, and it starts raining over here.
So it's green
So
and
we,
beautiful. It's green and beautiful all
in
year
fact,
round.
Bangalore has been called the Garden City because it's
Oh,
so green.
that's such a nice name, including
Yes.
your name. Can you let the guests know what your name is and what your name means? Because you told me just a moment ago. It's beautiful.
So I'm Shabana, Shabana Safdari, my full name, and the meaning of my first name is a flower which blossoms in the heaven once in 15 days.
Beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
And it seems like you were a flower that transformed in your life, and that yoga brought that to you.
Absolutely. Yoga found me. I would say
Yeah.
that.
That's beautiful. Me too.
Yes.
I was the kind of girl before I had gotten my own diagnosis and sick and gone through my own story. I was the kind of girl that would have gone to a yoga class and left before Shavasana.
But I
So
would say
I would.
Savasana itself is a beautiful pose, though people
It's
think
the
it's
it's
have
the
nothing
most
to do, but it's
important
one of
posture. Now
absolute.
you can't get me out of Shavasana now. But back then I was like, I have things to do, places to go, like my brain just moved too fast back then. So I obviously know the value of it now. But yes, that's a little bit funny from my past. Um,
That's lovely.
could you could you tell us a little bit about the story about your mother and like how things kind of started to unfold for you?
Sure, I would love to share this with as many people as I can because I'm sure it will inspire a lot of people to take care of their health and which can bring a big transformation in their life. So I would like to, before I talk about my mother's diagnosis and all, I would like to go a little more backwards towards my life before my mom was diagnosed with cancer. That was during my schooling, my college years, and all that. I was a person who never used to actively play sports or never went to any
Yes.
gym or did nothing for my fitness, zero fitness. And in 2014, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And as it's a genetic cancer, the doctor who was she was consulting asked her that if you have a daughter, please ask her to get herself checked too and be vigilant because this is a genetic cancer and it might happen that she might also get it anytime in her life. So it was like on one day, I got two big shocks in my life. On
Or
one side, I get to know that my mom has been diagnosed with breast cancer. And on the second, I get to know that I'm also at a very high risk now.
of
So
course.
that was the day I was so shocked and devastated, kind of. And then it didn't stop over there. It cropped into a fear and anxiety of getting cancer in future sometime and dying of cancer. And my mind just kept on working towards thinking what will happen if I'll get cancer or I might
Uh,
die of cancer. And I almost lost interest in anything in my life, my family and my
because the
work
fear
and
took over,
everything.
the anxiety and the fear took over.
Exactly. The anxiety and fear took over me to the extent that where I even felt that what if I get my genetic test done, find out if I have the same genes as my mom, and I get all my reproductive organs removed so that I can, save myself. And
Wow.
that's when my husband told me to leave it on God to decide. He said, instead of getting the test done and knowing what the result is, you take a leap of faith and let God decide your future. Don't go for the test.
And
And
who
that's
said that to
where
you? You got
my
that. Oh, I'm
husband,
sorry. Oh,
my
wow.
husband, yes.
Wow, that's
He
beautiful.
said, what if you get to know that you have the same genes as your mom? How are you going to live the rest of your life till you
Of course.
don't even know whether you are even going to get cancer or not?
But what a beautiful support system from your husband to have that.
Absolutely,
Yeah. Wow.
absolutely. That support and that advice of his changed my life. And that's the day when I decided, okay, I'm not going ahead with the test. I'm not going to check my genes, but
Yeah.
I will take another step, and that is to take care of my health, to take uh, my fitness, my health as the first priority of my life, and I'll start working towards it. And after that, I joined a yoga class because I was pondering whether to join a gym or a yoga class. I was not knowing what does yoga means. I just knew people do some poses and all that in yoga, but nothing beyond that. So I
Okay.
opt for yoga class also because it was convenient for me as a friend was joining in her neighborhood a yoga class. And so I said, okay, fine, I'll get some company. So I'll come along with you. I'll join a yoga class instead of a gym. And that's when I joined a yoga class and I started going there. And what I noticed in just few days was there was a transformation happening in my health. I felt much more calmer and more relaxed. And I used to have a lot of migraines every off and on before I joined yoga class. So
Okay.
what I noticed was my migraine frequency started coming down.
Interesting.
And
And how quickly did you notice that that was happening?
that was just within 10-15 days.
Wow. Yeah, I same with
Yes.
me for my symptoms, like the symptoms I couldn't relieve in my Crohn's disease. When I started with breath work and meditation a lot, with really slowing things down, I would say within the same about 15 days, I found that all those symptoms were like melting away that couldn't go away with anything else. That's
Yes, absolutely.
beautiful.
I felt the same and I started feeling positive. I started feeling good from inside.
Yes.
And that's when I decided that I want to explore more. I want to learn this practice in more depth. And I joined another yoga class after a month. And I went to that class. And on the very first day after my class got over, my teacher came to me and he said that you are naturally very flexible. You should consider taking up a yoga teacher's training course. And I was like,
Oh,
oh, I'm not interested. I don't have time for all that. I'm done studying and
were you working
learning.
doing something else?
Yes, I
Yeah.
was doing a jewelry business from home at that point
Oh,
in
okay.
time.
Yeah.
Yes. So I said,
Okay.
I don't have time for all this. And it was almost a 15 years of gap after last I studied at during my college times. So I was like, no way, I cannot take up a course and study once again. And
Wow.
I am a mom to a twins, and my children
Wow.
were just in fourth
Congrats.
grade at that point in time.
Yeah.
So raising two
Wow.
children together, and they were just in the fourth grade, and I felt that no, it's not possible. But I kept on going to the class as a student, and I kept pondering upon it because my teacher had already sown that seed into my mind
Yes.
about
Well, that's
becoming a
nice.
teacher.
So you had your
Uh,
husband and now your teacher, these seed
yes,
planters for
exactly,
you. That's
exactly.
beautiful. And what
And
type of yoga did you first go to? Was it a
hatha
certain, a
yoga,
specific? Okay, yeah, that's
yes,
yeah, and that's what you're
yeah.
trained in as well,
Yes, absolutely. I'm
and me
trained
as
in
well.
Hatha
Yeah.
Yoga. Yeah.
Okay. Very
So
nice.
after 3 months of pondering, I joined my first teacher's training course, and that's where my journey started as a teacher to learn in depth. But the challenges doesn't stop over here only. Of course, my fear anxiety had reduced, but what happened was during one of the sessions of teacher training course, I was lying down in Shavasana, and at the end of the class, I just turned towards my right side to come up. And that's when I got my first vertigo attack. And
Oh,
it
wow.
was
And you kind of just
so
fell over?
severe. It was so severe. I started feeling dizzy. I
Interesting.
vomited a couple of times and I just lost all my balance. And
Wow.
it was horrible. My batchmates came home to drop me because I was just not in that state that I could even walk on my own. And I
Wow.
visited a ENT. He gave me some medicines, but it didn't help me.
Of
Almost
course
for a
not.
week, I was on bed and not able to sleep in the night. The moment I used to turn my head, I used to feel very dizzy. I was walking in my house holding the walls because I had
Wow.
lost my balance. And that was the moment where I felt that my life is going to be like this, completely dependent on others forever, you know,
Wow.
because the
Yes.
meds were not helping me. They were not
Uh-huh.
reducing my dizziness.
But then you were
And
able
that's,
to help yourself, obviously, because you look like you're
yeah,
upright right now.
absolutely. So that's when my teacher, who was teaching me the training course, she called me and she suggested that as you cannot come for the regular classes for the training, why don't you come to the institute and attend the yoga therapy classes? That will help you. And I
Oh,
said, okay,
interesting.
let me do that. So one of my batchmates every day used to come and pick me. I used to go along with her and I started attending the yoga therapy classes in my teachers training institute. And within a week's time, I gained my balance back. I was absolutely normal. And that was
Beautiful.
the time when I realized that how powerful yoga therapy can be.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Yes.
Yeah,
And
so
that,
I experienced it firsthand, and that was the reason. After 2 years, or after completing my first teachers training course, I again pondered and I decided, no, I want to further study for next 2 years, and I want to take up yoga therapy so that I can help a lot of people with the way it helped me when I felt so low in my life.
and that's a beautiful passion and a beautiful goal. I think that's wonderful. Yes, we need to help as many people as we can. But it's interesting
Exactly.
too. Like yoga is such this beautiful practice, and that we have this tool we have of our body and our mind and our own breath, and we have such like most of us have this connection to it. I also have the disconnection to it as well as you. And it's so powerful when we can really harness our own energy and our own healing. That's beautiful.
Absolutely, it's so powerful. And before yoga, I was so disconnected with myself. I never knew about the mind, body, and the breath connection. I've never ever observed my breath. I
Mm.
had never moved my
Me
body the
neither.
way
Yeah.
I move it now.
Yeah. And it's like, really? Like, it's almost funny nowadays when I think back about it. Like, I couldn't connect to my breath. Like, I almost would think, like, yeah, obviously I'm breathing. I'm breathing. That's how I'm alive. But quite often we give ourselves a disservice with the type of breath we offer ourselves and the racing
Very
thoughts
true,
through
very
our
true.
mind and all of this. Yes. And the tenseness in our bodies.
Correct.
So that's, yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. So that's, and yoga gave me a purpose in life because earlier I always used to think in my growing up years that once I'll retire from my work, I'll do some social service work. But I always used to think I don't have any such skills where I can help people.
I'm sure you did before the yoga, but now you have more.
Yes.
Yes.
So I believe that when we have a good intention, the sankalpa in ourselves, universe conspires everything to become true in your life. And
That's
that's
very
how
true.
it laid the path for me of yoga, and yoga found me, and I found my purpose in life to help people. And I didn't have to wait to retire in my life, but
Yes,
at
exactly.
at the age of 36, yoga came to me, and it's been 10 years now, and I'm on this journey of helping and transforming people's lives and making them feel more happier and healthier, pain free, stress free.
Beautiful. And now do you teach yoga therapy online, in person?
Yeah, so I teach both. Before COVID, it was almost offline because there was no online format before COVID happened.
Yes.
But here again, there's a story. When you want to help people, God helps you. So when COVID hit, I got a message from my community And it said that this is the time people should practice a lot of breathing practices, and that will help you
Yes.
to strengthen your immune system. And the moment I read that message, it was just the 21st of March 2020. And I felt that just the lockdown has begun, it was the first or the second day of the lockdown. And I read the
Yes.
message and I felt this is exactly what I know and how I can help people. So I
Yes.
need to now move online. So what I did was I just called up three, four friends. I asked them to join me on a Facebook Live, and I wanted to test it, that how it works, how to do an online
Yes.
session, because I had never experienced before. I was not having a tripod. So what I did was I used a selfie stick
Yes.
and I
Good for you.
place it in a that big 2 liters bottle of Coke. I
Yes.
placed the selfie stick in the Coke bottle. My son was holding the selfie stick as it was falling again and again. And we kept that bottle on the chair. And that's how I started with my first online session.
Good for you. Yeah. You
And my
didn't
friends
create a
joined in.
you didn't create a barrier. You just allowed it to go. So that's beautiful.
Absolutely. And my friends joined in, and it went very smooth. And the next day, I announced that I'm offering free classes every evening. Whoever wants to join me can join me. I made a Facebook group. And that's how I started with the free online classes during the COVID times.
Wow, really nice. I'm sure a lot of people benefited from that.
Yes, a lot of people benefited, and that was the time there was so much of fear, anxiety, and I feel that
Absolutely.
I was so blessed that I had some tools where I could help people overcome those fears and anxieties.
Absolutely. Wow. That's
Yes.
really beautiful. Yes, I got into yoga therapy around the same time when I was diagnosed with my Crohn's disease. And I had asked the specialist, like, is there something I should change in what I'm eating? This was the doctors in the medical system. And they said, absolutely not. You just keep eating whatever you're eating and you just keep on medication for the rest of your life. And eventually we'll just cut out your colon and give you a colostomy bag. That was my option. That was the only option they gave me. So I said, I don't think so. And so I had ended up going home and finding a book by Deepak Chopra on my e-reader at the time, which was called Perfect Health by Deepak Chopra. And
Oh,
so
wow.
when I was looking through this book, this was when I was like, wow, I think I can heal myself. You know, it was a lot about healing the body, mind, and spirit. I had done yoga before that. I'd done many yoga classes, but like I had told you before, I was the kind of person that would leave before the relaxation. The part I probably needed more than anything. And then that's when I had found my school. It was in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It's called Kaish, the Center for Ayurvedic and Indian Systems of Healing. The owner
Okay.
is Matt Nathani, and she allowed me to take the Ayurveda Yoga Therapist program. She allowed me to take it part time and in payment because I was kind of on and off of work at the time. I was a public school teacher at the time. And so a program that would normally take 2 years took me about 4 years, but I was still able. This is where I was started to learn the beautiful medicine of yoga as just as you did.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
That's some journey, so
yeah.
inspiring. Yes.
And so after that point, I was the only person in my training that wasn't a yoga teacher because I think they allowed me to be in the program. I had a background in kinesiology. That was my degree in university. So I already had a lot of knowledge of the human body, not of the mind and the spirit back then. But so that I think that's why they allowed me at first. So when I finished the program, I was already beginning to heal. Like I had slowly weaned myself off of my medications. I didn't do it quickly. Um, and then I decided, oh, I'm going to take my Hatha yoga teacher training too. So then I certified myself in my Hatha yoga teacher training as well.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's wonderful
yeah,
to know, April. So
yeah,
inspiring, when we take
yeah.
our own health in our hands and we start taking positive steps towards it, it is possible to
Absolutely.
heal the body because our body is so beautifully made. It's
Yes.
just
And
got
I
all the
actually,
tools to heal it.
before I got sick, I actually thought I was quite healthy. but I actually was not healthy. I
Same with
mean,
me. Even I
my,
always thought that I was
yeah,
very healthy.
yeah,
I was having a perfect body, not overweight, nothing. But
exactly.
I never
Yes.
realized
Went to
till
the
I started
gym,
yoga.
worked out, so my body was all right, but like my internal stressing
True.
tools weren't very good. Sorry about my dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in this 10 years, what I have realized is, more than the physical pains and all, people are suffering a lot with mindset issues and mental
Yeah,
health, emotional
that is
health
absolutely,
issues.
it might be the most important piece of the puzzle is the mind
Yes, it
frame
is.
and the faith and belief in the own power of your healing.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have to keep reminding my students again and again repetitively that believe in whatever you're doing is helping you. The moment you
Yes,
will have that positive thought in your mind, then only it is going to help you. Otherwise, how many classes you will take, it is never going to work on your body because till you don't believe it, you
absolutely.
cannot achieve it.
I absolutely agree. Yeah.
Yes, and so many times people come to me with physical ailments, but later on it comes out that they need more of a mindset change. And when I
Yes,
start working on changing the way they think, they start healing much more faster.
much faster, I bet. Yes.
Yes.
And have you found that the most difficult tool to instill into people or like
I
the,
feel it's a work in progress for people. It doesn't
yes,
happen overnight that
of
I'll
course.
start guiding them,
Yeah,
but it definitely helps them to think right and
that's right.
differently. Because
Yes,
many people don't even have the awareness that they are constantly going in a spiral of negative thoughts going down, you know?
yes,
And that's
absolutely.
when where bring that awareness to them. They start realizing it and they start thinking differently and they start working towards it. It takes
Yeah,
time, but it definitely helps and it shows the results.
absolutely. And we can get stuck. Like for myself, I was sick quite a number of years before I was even diagnosed. It was just kind of like this gray area. And it was like you create not only the fear and anxiety inside of you, but like this victim mindset where then
Absolutely,
you
I
almost
agree. Yes.
the almost your whole being becomes that and you want people to feel sorry for you, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
she's so
people want
sick.
others' sympathy all the time, and they feel that, oh, I'm the only one who's suffering, and everybody
Yes,
else is having a perfect health and perfect life and perfect relationships.
yes,
But
which we
that's
know is
never
not
the
true.
truth.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
So
I
yes,
also feel that social media plays a very big role in faking that life, which people think that
absolutely.
everybody else apart from me is having a perfect life.
Yes, because we don't post the things that bother us usually, the things that are
People don't
hard, the
post
things
about
that are
their
dark.
struggles. People don't post
Exactly.
about their pains. They only try to show that part of their life, which is sometimes not even true. Because
Yeah, of course.
pictures don't tell you the real stories which lies behind that picture.
That's right. That's very true.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I always try as much as possible not to share my lifestyle on my social media, but I rather talk about the real life, my struggles, my challenges, and the struggles and challenges of my students, and
Yeah.
how all these transformations helps people, and motivate them with something positive or how to live a more happier life. I feel that is
Absolutely.
one of the biggest problem which people are facing. They are just not happy in spite of having everything in their
And they
life.
don't think they have the choice to change it. But I mean, we only get one chance in this suit. So we should maybe follow our passions and our dreams and just do one thing, even if you don't feel you can leave your job, let's say at the time, allowing yourself to have a hobby after work or before work that brings you joy and starting there, these small little steps that bring you into that alignment
True,
of
I
healing.
totally agree.
Yeah.
Exactly. You won't believe. I was just today sharing with my students that as a part of your weekly weekend routine, you have to pick up some hobby which you have left far behind, which you used to
Yes,
love earlier, and now you're so caught up with time that you've forgotten that thing which you
that's
used to
right.
love. Start doing that
And for
again.
me, for me, mine was art, like painting and drawing. I didn't,
Wow.
I stopped for years. I stopped for years. And in high school, everything in high school for me was art. Art 2D, art 3D, peer tutoring, art. All my courses in grade 12 were art almost. And then I graduated high school and I went into graphic design, and then this happened where my father passed away, and then the professors in my college actually failed me because I didn't hand in assignments on time during the small moment of when my dad passed away in his funeral. So I
Sorry
actually
to hear
quit
that.
that program. I moved to the other side of Canada with my mom, where we went to live with like her side of the family, and that's where I went into university, into education and kinesiology. And I kind of lost myself in that time. So I completely tried to transform and become someone I didn't even really want to be. And in that I lost myself completely. So then when I brought back in the healing after I got sick and everything, art just was pouring from my soul. It wanted to be created again. So I take all the moments I can to still draw and paint because it brings me a lot of joy.
It is a very powerful tool for healing, art and painting and
Yes,
coloring. So when I was a kid, I
that's right.
always used to pass all my holidays doing coloring. I used to draw something and then I used to keep coloring it, and I used to get so engrossed in it, and I used to love that. And
Yeah,
recently, when last year I had done one workshop, which was a mix of art and yoga, and then
beautiful.
I sat and started doing the doodling on Om on a t-shirt, and I enjoyed it so much, and I just felt as if I was the same kid which I used to be, who used to
Right.
love art.
Yes.
It's very
And so
therapeutic.
have you brought it a little bit more into your life now, like just doodling and
Yes,
stuff
yes.
like
I
after
of
that?
course, yes, I try as and when I can to do some doodling in my free
Yes,
time.
nice.
And my other hobby is gardening.
Oh, beautiful. And connecting to nature right there, you're grounding
Connecting to
yourself.
nature, touching the
Yes,
soil, the plants, the touch of
yes,
them, that itself is so healing and so soothing
yes.
that I just love it.
That's beautiful. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to share with the people today on our podcast?
So I would like to say that, there are certain things which people constantly neglect, and they feel it's quite underrated. Something like just sitting in sun every morning and doing sunbathing.
Absolutely.
It works
That
so
was also a
deeply
big
on.
part of my healing, actually. I even forgot about that part, but that was
Oh,
also a part of
wow.
my healing. Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
yes,
Because it works on your cells, it works on your tissues, it works on enhancing your mood mentally. There is a rise of serotonin when you see that first ray of light in your eyes and your retina.
absolutely.
And it feels so good just to have that direct sunlight on your body early
For
morning.
sure.
People should do that. They just feel it's so underrated. So there
I
are
know.
holistic healing. When we talk about, it's about doing simple things like barefoot
Yes,
walking, or
that's
just
right.
using your hands and touching the soil, planting a plant.
Blowing the
That
breath.
is.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes,
Or about being mindful about how you eat your food, chewing it very
yes.
slowly.
Absolutely. The relationship with food is so important.
Very true, because food is the medicine.
Yes,
And, just the way we have 32 teeth, we should be chewing our food at least for 32 times, so that each
absolutely.
morsel turns into liquid in the mouth itself, which further helps not spiking your blood sugar, because there's enough time for your pancreas to start releasing the insulin. So
Yeah.
don't gobble your food. Eat slowly, mindfully, without scrolling your phone, watching
Yes,
TV.
without the distraction. So important.
Yes. So you should be focusing on the taste of your food. And before you start your food, one very simple practice is of being grateful for that food on your plate, because there are so many
Absolutely.
people who work towards building that food on your plate, and that is the
That's
practice
right.
I follow every meal. Because it's not only about the person in your house who got the groceries, but it's also about the farmer, it's
How to,
about the sunlight, the water, the distributors
absolutely.
through. There are so many people who work towards bringing that nourishing food on your
And
plate.
then we
And you,
eat it without being conscious in a rush, in the
yes.
form to just stuff ourselves instead of creating it into this beautiful situation, which it should be, like putting the
And
energy
even
in.
sometimes not even being grateful to the person, our family member who cooks that
Of
meal for
course.
us.
Oh, this is it? Whoa, we're having this today?
Yeah, again, today this is cooked. I don't like this, or the taste
Yeah.
is not good.
Yeah,
So rather than complaining, when we start thinking from the point of gratefulness, no, we attract
absolutely.
miracles in our life. And so there are simple, simple
Absolutely.
things which I follow and I always guide my students to follow. The moment I get up in the morning, I place my feet on the floor. I am grateful to God for that life, that I am
I
awake
like that.
again,
That's beautiful.
you know, because we don't realize the value of each breath. We can know that only when we see a person who is on his deathbed counting his last breaths.
That's
So
right.
we take everything so much for granted.
That's right. Being
When
grateful
we
is
are
very
mindful
important.
and grateful, everything can change in our life, you know.
That in
Mindful
any
breathing.
moment. Yeah,
Yes. People don't even know how to breathe correctly. Many
that's
times when they
right.
come to me, they don't even know that when you breathe in, your abdomen comes out, and when you breathe out, it goes in. They
Well,
think when
yeah,
you breathe
because
in, the
most
belly
are
goes
breathing
in.
from up
Yes.
here. Yes.
Yes, they are just breathing up from the chest, not
Yeah.
even using the diaphragmatic part of their body. They are
But
not even
naturally, when
aware
we were a
about
small
it.
child, before the world took over in our mind, we naturally breathed this beautiful, beautiful
Absolutely. I
abdominal
just
breath.
tell my students the same thing that next
Yeah,
time when you see a baby, just observe how the belly of the
that's
baby goes
right.
up and down because the
Yeah,
baby knows the natural rhythm of breath and the
yeah,
movement of the muscles.
yeah, exactly. That's
So,
beautiful.
there are small, small things that we can do mindfully and giving importance to our sleep, which is so, so
So
underrated.
important.
But sleeping on time, sleeping by maximum 10 o'clock, so that the body gets enough time to do the repair work when we are
Yeah.
sleeping and our
Well, and then our
circadian
body is
rhythm.
set on the clock of Mother Nature as well. We have more energy when we sleep and then rise at an earlier time. And yes, I think all of this is very important.
So I strongly believe that disease happens or dis-ease in our body happens when we move away from the harmony of nature.
Absolutely.
When there is this harmony, we get a disease. The
Yeah.
more we move towards nature, we eat the food which is full of prana, the life force energy, like the fresh
Yeah.
fruits, the vegetables, which has got life in it.
And so
That gives
important.
so much of prana to our body and it helps to heal, to nourish us.
Yeah, we can't expect to fill our bodies with frankenfoods or processed foods and feel good. And our grocery, well, at least here in Costa Rica and Canada, where I'm from, in the United States, the grocery stores are filled with foods that don't serve us in any way. I don't know if it's the same in India,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. It is now following the West culture. So even the supermarkets are full with packaged foods, processed foods, which has
yeah,
got preservatives loaded with sugar, so that because sugar can enhance the shelf life, it can be an addiction. You keep liking that taste, and you
of
come again
course.
and again to buy the same product, and you keep eating it.
Yes, I heard a good tip once that said when I don't know what the grocery stores look like there, but it says to just stay on the outside. So you're only going to the fresh foods when you go into the grocery store, and
Oh,
like the fruit,
nice.
vegetables, maybe like the dairy. I don't know if people eat meat, but around that side. So all those packaged processed foods are in the center. Don't go in those ones.
And what I tell my students is always eat the plants which are grown from the soil and don't eat the
Absolutely.
food which have come from the manufacturing plants.
And local as well. It's funny, like my whole
Yes.
life growing up in Canada, every single day I ate a banana. Bananas don't grow in Canada. And
Oh,
then, it's not
okay.
something I really thought about back then. But now here, living in Costa Rica, I mean, the fruit is unbelievable, right? But we don't get things like traditional apples. Like these things are imported apples, pears, peaches, and most berries. We have strawberries and some really sour blackberries, but like I don't eat those fruits because I'm living here, so I'm sticking to the fruits that grow here. I don't want to eat a $12 packet of blueberries that was grown in New York that's being flown on an airplane to here. Like we need to think about the local foods and the foods that are,
Yes,
and they're
local
cheaper
and
that way
seasonal.
too. Yeah, and in
Local
season,
and seasonal.
exactly.
Yeah, because now what has happened is because of the hybrid fruits and vegetables, certain fruits which we used to find only during the summer season, now they are available throughout the year.
Because of
And
the
people
high
don't even
demand.
realize that.
So now exactly. So now they're being filled probably with more chemicals to create them to be able to be growing when they shouldn't be growing. And it's just an unnatural system. So yes, I
True,
agree.
true. And all this
Mm,
then leads to a lot of inflammation in the body, a lot of
absolutely.
toxins built up in the body, and that
Yeah.
leads to a lot of diseases and disorders.
Yes, agreed.
Healing is possible when we are mindful about everything: our
That's
food,
right.
our water, our sleep, our movement, and our breath, most
And
importantly.
we can
And
help people guide them to
yes,
find
yes,
this. Yeah,
that's where I feel, because I feel that at this through my posts and all, I'm able to educate more and more people, because everybody cannot be my student, but everybody
of
can
course.
read my words and
They can get
uh,
the seed planted, just like your
true,
husband did for
absolutely.
you.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
that's
what.
beautiful.
So, as yoga teachers, we are on that journey to help more and more people transform their lives and live
That's
more
beautiful.
happily. And one last more thing which I would like to share, which
Yes,
plays a very
please.
big role in any kind of healing, is an act of kindness, which is karma
True.
yoga.
True.
Because
Yes.
when you are kind towards others, it gives you an immense sense of satisfaction, happiness, and fulfillment.
Without the expectation of something in return. Yes,
Yeah, no fruits of action. I mean, you are just doing the action because you want to help
you want to.
somebody, but not
Exactly.
expecting any fruits from that action.
Yes.
And that is very, very powerful. And when
Very
we talk
powerful. It
about
brings a
kindness,
lightness, a lightness to the
yes.
body and energizing to the body.
True, true. And
Yes,
the amount of happiness which it gives us, no materialistic things or experiences can give you.
absolutely. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so
So
much for sharing your story, your journey, and all you do to help. I will get your information and make sure that I add it to the podcast so that they can find your contact information. Anybody that might like to work with you online or in person,
thank
um,
you so much,
to go
April,
through
for
their
having
training.
me and
Thank you.
sharing our stories together.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I
Thank you
hope you
so
have a
much for
beautiful
having me.
evening,
And
and I hope we can talk again soon.
yes, and I wish you all the good luck ahead.
Thank you.
Keep
Bye.
inspiring people with your
Thank you.
podcasts.
You as well.
Namaste.
Oh, keep
Thank you.
inspiring people with your message. Gracias.
Thank you.
Ciao. Bye bye.